What's up, everybody? It's Sebastian here. A live stream tonight. I'm going to be doing some drawing. Also, too, going to be doing a live little what do you call raffle. So, yes, for all those who are joining in, again, thank you again. Again, I'm doing a live drawing tonight. Just pretty much going to check to see who voted and what was the character that won, so that this way again get this down. So this is just a little something different. Normally I don't do this, but yeah, I just thought it'd be fun just to hang out, talk some movies, talk geek, give you a little pre-nerd show before we get on. We got some fun stuff for nerds tomorrow. So those who are following the Nerds channel. So again, I just want to say hello, Arelis. Hello, Danny, Daniel. Welcome, guys. So I'm checking the Patreon now. Sorry if I'm a little bit late. As far as it goes, kind of walk the dog. How many people are fur baby parents out there? Because again, I got the fur baby, Willow. She has her own Instagram account, so if you guys want to follow her, go right ahead. So I'm checking the status because last time I saw this thing was at 3 votes. So let's see who I am drawing tonight. Got it. Let's see. Unfinished. Da, 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 da. I work Nerds Live, and the vote goes to, oh wow, Juggernaut won. Looks like I will be doing the Juggernaut tonight. Juggernaut won the live vote, and that is awesome because Juggernaut is actually one of my favorite characters. So I will be drawing X-Men's Juggernaut tonight. And so get some references up. Now, for those that don't know, I'm also doing a raffle tonight, so there will be a live drawing raffle. There's going to be some stuff on that raffle. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, I'm going to send a link there. So if you are subscribing to the Patreon, you will automatically get an entry to the raffle. So right now, I am putting that link into this. And so there we go, membership. So I'm setting that up right now. So talk to me. What have you guys been watching over the weekend? What have you guys been up to? Last show I've been watching and been catching up on it is My Hero Academia, which I've been watching this last recent season, which has been crazy. The supervillain war. So let me know if you guys want any spoilers. Then again, the season has been out. There's been a lot of emotional moments this season, which was actually pretty. Um, it was pretty dark a little bit this season for what happened with some stuff, and it kind of reminds me of like how everything, like for example, like how Harry Potter started out Flight, and then when she got to the final book you had Dark, because it's like you get the seriousness of these moments. And I think this was a graduating moment for a lot of these characters, including Deku, Bakugo, and I'm just excited to continue to see where the series goes. I definitely got to read the manga. We were trying to cover Star Wars Visions last week. Anybody who's seen Star Wars Visions, if you haven't, go check it out. Finally finished. Oh, that's awesome. The Walking Dead finally finished it. I am so behind in The Walking Dead. I left. I still have a lot to watch. I think I left around the point, Aurelis, when they started doing a bunch of spin-offs, and I was just like, there's just it got too much for me, and I was just like, there's just too much to follow. But no, I'm excited where they get went with that series, but it just I got Walking Dead fatigue. It got tough to catch up. Plus, also too, I don't subscribe to cable, so having to find alternatives and wait for seasons to come out, it just because I used to watch it religiously every Sunday night when it came out on the DVR. Let's go water cooler talk. Um, yeah, it was that last season when Negan finally got introduced. I've read a few of the comics. Kirkman did a fantastic job with that show. What other shows are out there right now? So let's see here. So just going through the levels, one entry and three. All right. So I'm setting up the raffle right now. So I'm gonna put some fun stuff on that raffle as I promised. So yeah, no, Walking Dead was great. Kennedy's coming out with a new show. We're gonna cover it tomorrow, the first 3 episodes, which is Unicorn. I have to catch up with the spin-off shows now. Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead had a strong opening, but it just There was a part of the show where it just for me dragged on and I couldn't watch. I think it was season 2. Season 2, they were out in the water. I think that they spent too much time. It was kind of a little bit of an exciting time when they were doing a lot of the marketing because what they were doing too was they were doing little small web episodes that kind of tied into the Walking Dead world where but I feel like they just didn't pan out to anything because you didn't it was said that these characters were supposed to join the cast, but it didn't, and it just so Fear the Walking Dead was something that I just working on projects and keeping up on Aerospace's news. Yeah, Daniel, you've been killing it. I've been seeing your posts over there on Kiko's Discord, Keiko's Discord, and the posts just keep them coming. Don't I'm sorry I haven't commented in a while. I've just been busy, but I've been paying attention, looking, and the work is fantastic. So, oh sweet, oh sweet, I got that's geeky. Let's get some space travel going. So I'm setting up this raffle right now. Sorry guys, I'm also getting used to doing some streams alone with no guests, just me talking, connecting with people and everything. I put a vote out there on the Patreon page where it was asking if anybody wants to see again some more live streams. And my computer is asking for some juice. So I decided just to do it out there and it was voted yeah. And so I just wanted to come on, chill out with you guys. Let's see here. Wheel of names. So I am putting in, there we go. The wheel of names is up. So, so the wheel of names is up. I'm going to be running this raffle. What's up, Cheyenne? So as I said before, anybody who's a subscriber for the Patreon page, I'm going to be running this raffle right here. And again, thank you all to who do subscribe to the Patreon page. All that support is really, really, really appreciated because again, without your support, um, it would be difficult with trying to get concrete out there because at the end of the day, it does help support that project. So here it is, the Wheel of Names. That is the prizes I'm going to be running. So here is the $6 gift card. Oh, nice. You gotta keep posting up that stuff on there. I gotta really, 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 really just continue to check out that stuff and everything because it's like I was watching Daniel the other day too, something of 3D video someone was showing on their projects and everything. It was pretty cool, like how they were converting the line art into ships and everything, all that too. And it just reminded me of your work, which I thought that was just fantastic. So that's the right there, the wheel. Just putting up the names. Another great show I started watching. Let's move you. Another great show I started watching. So I'm actually been watching Supernatural, trying to finish it, but Supernatural has just been a lot of episodes that I've been watching because it's just so many seasons, but it's so good. And what's dope is that I heard with Birds of Prey, the actor who played Castiel in Supernatural is being casted to play Two Face in not Birds of Prey, Gotham Knights. And I'm hoping it gets picked up on HBO Max or whatever new app they're going to call themselves because rumors are, well, not rumors, but CW doesn't seem like they're going to be renewing any superhero shows. I will die on that hill saying that the greatest DC shows that we're going to get, the greatest DC live universe is going to be the CW's Arrowverse because we still have not seen it in the movies. I have my little things with going to see the Flash movie only because it's like, do I want to go see it to support Ursula or do I want to go see it to support the studio and also to, you got Keaton in it. They've really from what but also too just I just want to post that out there. Have you felt that, with going to see DC movies that have there been any big payoff for wanting to keep you wanting to go see DC movies? I mean, just shout your answers out in there in the chat because that's the other thing too. And it's funny. Big spoiler. And actually, it wasn't a big spoiler. They said, and it happened that Dwayne Johnson and it was rumored that he was coming back to Fast and Furious series, and they said that he did. And the rumor is, and the belief is because Black Adam didn't launch to be a successful franchise, that he's going back to going to play Hobbs, and if this could also be a possible spin-off for another Hobbs and Shaw too. All right, so Aurelius, you already got two, and you get an entry on the board. So I'm just putting this together. And then I'm gonna start the drawing in a few. I'm just prepping this. Rich Dresden actually has three based off his membership. Hugo Dull. Hugo Dull. Hugo no. And Johnny C. and Mateo Rivera. So I'm just putting together the list of names right now of everybody who is entered in the raffle. You can still enter the raffle if you are a Patreon subscriber. If you subscribe at $3, you do get the one membership, one raffle ticket. At the $5 level, you do get three. Just to explain what I've been doing on Patreon, I started the level $1.67 for just donations, but I'm also going to start. I added a new thing where I'm going to be giving out a list of names for people to use as NPCs for your games, creations, and all that. So it was actually an idea thrown out by my homie Tommy, who does a great campaign over there with the Medusa's Cascade podcast, which there's still a lot of great stuff happening there. I know they announced that there's an animation. They're still working on the animation part, which has been pretty dope to be a part of that team. So he gave me the list of ideas since I'm always coming up with names for characters. So every month, for all the memberships, I'm going to be coming out with just a list of names for people. It's just going to start in June. So June 1st, I'll be putting out the first list, and then August 1st. So all those subscribers, doesn't matter what level, that's just going to be a benefit. How goes Concrete Combat? Concrete Combat is going pretty well. I got to thank George Medina because he's been phenomenal with the letters, with helping out with that. I'm actually working on chapter 2, part 3. I've already got 5 pages drawn out, and this chapter I'm trying to include a lot in it because there is a scene I really want to get drawn, really want to do, because it was a scene I had to put in a lot of personal emotion into it to really convey what the character was feeling. I'm also playing with the idea that in chapter 3 the character may redo his hairstyle to kind of start signifying some of the change that the character is about to go through, the main character Micah. We got introduced to Beatrice in the last chapter. She came in, again, just a ball of fire. It's she's honestly been fun so far to draw on the panels and try to get the character out there, and just designing like the world around the character. So far we're still in this small portion of this world, but there's just so much more that I've been working on designing behind the scenes and everything, which includes like looks that I want to go for what people are wearing, markets. I will say Mid Journey has been helpful a little bit with helping with ideas. I've been using it to help with like if really can't visualize something, I want to see what the visual will look like. So I'll enter some stuff in as a prompt. And like let's say for example, I want to know what a marketplace would look like in a cyberpunk setting. I'll enter it in, and when it comes out from there, I'll actually, and it's similar for me when I'm doing it that way, like if I'm looking for photo references and all that. So I'll think about a place, like, I'll pull up a place like, let's say Times Square. I'm like, you know what, I would like to see that cyberpunk fight. Now these concept pieces are going to be purely set for in the background to help me with visuals and everything. It's helped me with colors, because that's one of the things I'm going to be honest, what I always have trouble with is colors. But it's allowed me to really experiment with colors and see like with lighting and everything. So it's become a helpful tool in the concept stage. I get why some people don't like AI art, That is fine. Not here to get on any soapbox about anything, but I'm saying this is what I use it for. I use it to help me with the concept phase because at times it's like when we're doing the concept phase, it's allowed to help speed up because usually when you're doing your research and everything, you're looking for clothing, you're looking for images, you're playing with looks, you're playing with that. So it's allowed to help speed up some of that process. So at least this way it's like, okay, I know a look. Let me enter it in, see what happens, comes up with some, let me see if I can reset that, comes up with some, and it's just okay, I kind of like these looks. Let me see here, mash it up here. And it's kind of like helping out with some of the processes with character concept design and everything. Um, and then I'll go in there and I'll draw what I like and what I don't like. I'll just leave out and like I like this pants. I like where the buckle sits here. Let me see if I can retool this. And I'll just go in there and just start doing the concept sheet of my characters. If I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't, go right back to drawing board. Maybe change up something. So it's helped a lot with the concept phase to speed up some stuff and I still go out there and find the occasional photo of something like, you know what, I want to go see a pair of Jenko jeans. I need some reference of Jenko jeans. Find a bunch of Jenko jeans, like have a whole folder of Jenko jeans, and it's like, here we go. Got some Jenko jeans I want to go with. Um, how has it been working with Blender? I haven't touched Blender in a while. Phil the animator, who I've worked with over at Imbion, he's been messing around with this, done some cool stuff with Blender. Um, because I haven't got to mess with it a while. So right now, personal life stuff is that doing IT courses, looking to further up my stock in terms of career wise. The job does take up a lot of the time in terms of working, so it's like I have to really find time to dedicate to Blender. I'm not gonna say I didn't have fun with the program because I still have it on my computer and looking to mess with it more. I have some Blender tutorials to look at but again, I was looking at some stuff with how people were actually Daniel, I'll send you that tutorial. It's an old tutorial. It's from the guy who did what's it face? He did the animation for The Last TIE Fighter. It was a fan animation. It looked like that old school animation and everything, and it was just pretty cool. He made like a 3D mock-up of a ship, took it, put it in Photoshop, got the lines done, then he was able to go in there and do what he needed to for colors and all that, to kind of make it look like an old school 80s, early 90s animation. But it was still like, felt like it was still 2D drawn, but it was a 3D mock-up and everything. Actually, let me pull that up for you. I'll throw that in the chat because I think it was a great tutorial. So without further ado, while I'm looking for that link, let's pull up that other wheel. So let's chop this one. So I'm going to run two raffles tonight. So two prizes will be given away. So I'm going to start with the first raffle and then I'll do one a little bit later. All right. There's still time to enter. So go into the Patreon. Yeah, his work is phenomenal. I really, really, really loved that tutorial. It just, by all means, if you didn't see it, definitely check it out. For anybody who didn't see it, definitely check it out. He shows you some great stuff. So here you go. And so right now, I'm going to reshare the Patreon too for all those interested. Again, everything helps with the Patreon. Levels start at $1.67. Um, all right. But no, I thought that tutorial was really dope. I love watching a lot of different tutorials, putting a lot of different stuff in my repertoire. I'm even seeing different programs. What was it? My buddy Phil, who does some great stuff. He's been doing I'm gonna say Mojo, but Moho. And what he's been doing on Moho has been pretty cool. With the way how he's using the animation quality with that and everything. Oh, I gotta see that. Did you hear? So there's news that Disney actually, and just bringing that up, Danielle, there's news that Disney did has in place an Aliens versus Predator animation anime. It's fully done, and they don't want to release it. How do you guys feel about that? I think that that is just for me. I want it. I want it dropped. All right, let's shuffle these names and let's see. Any new takers? No, that is fine. I'm already setting up my sheet to start Juggernaut because he won. I have my references. And for me, the Juggernaut's always been one of my favorite characters. He is just, I don't know, he was just always one of my favorite characters. Yeah, it was I saw the article on geektyrant.com. That's where I go to get some of my geek news. Um Let me see if I could find the article. Hold on. And I'm gonna spin that first raffle in a second, and then it was might be hard to find. I posted it the other day in a work group chat, and it was the first time I heard about that, and I thought it's crazy that you have something that's finished, why not release it? I would love to see an Aliens versus Predator animation. I'm always about Aliens versus Predator, but so the movies to me sucked. I think the movies could have been better. There we go. I got the article. All right. I think the movies could have been better. What they did is that they took some stuff from the books and they didn't do it justice. They Because like if you read the original Aliens versus Predator books, the main character, her name was Machiko. They replaced her. It was supposed to take off on a planet, but I think at the time Fox had this whole thing where they really want the Aliens franchise to get on Earth, and they use Aliens versus Predator as an excuse to do it that way. So in the original series, it was a farming colony, and you did find out that the predators would send the aliens out there to hunt them. So they would send these eggs, and then they would send like the young. It was like a rite to passage for them to hunt, kill, and bring back the skulls of these creatures, the xenomorphs. So they didn't know that this planet had humans on it because it didn't have humans before, and this is when humans were starting to go out there and away from Earth for space travel and all that. So as you can guess, all hell breaks loose. You could call them the senior scout leaders of this little young predator unit. That something happened to them all but one, which we'll get into later. They go crazy and was like, "Oh, let's see what the humans did," and start hunting the humans. And the book is very bloody and graphic with stuff all happens. Um, like this doctor, he was trying to get away, and it just everything that went down. But long story short, a lot of the stuff that happened in that first Aliens versus Predator movie, they took some of the stuff from the book. The only big difference was that they moved it to Earth and they took away the whole idea of a farming concept community and introduced that it was Wayland Yutani, who was always the company looking to weaponize the aliens. From what I think they were trying to do was make these kind of like a prequel story to the whole aliens universe that Wayland was always knew about these creatures. Like if you read the run that Dark Horse did, because Dark Horse actually made that book into a comic, and then a lot of the stuff they did for Aliens and Predator tied in a lot to like extending what the movies did. Like for Aliens, you got to see they completely ignored Aliens 3, and you saw what happens to Hicks and Newt later on. Like with Ripley, the aliens, like it got to the point where the aliens did invade Earth, but then they did recapture Earth. Like the aliens stories for Dark Horse were phenomenal. The Aliens versus Predator ones were even fun too. And the movies had a building block, but just like any comic book movie, not all comic book movies, but just like comic book movies at the time and what Fox was looking to do with Aliens, they kind of let's be honest, they shit the bed. They had a blueprint, they shit the bed. Um and on top of that, I was a little upset when we found out that Edgar Wright wasn't going to be able to do, was it Edgar Wright? Um I believe it was, I forgot who. It's the guy who did oh man, now I gotta look it up. Who was the director of Chappie? Neil Blomkamp. Yep, Neil Blomkamp. So Neil Blomkamp was sketching out ideas and concepts for a Aliens 5 movie. We didn't get it because it got stopped by Ridley Scott because Ridley Scott wanted to focus on the Prometheus stuff. And this like there's some phenomenal fan art. I mean, not fan art, concept art that Blomkamp had done that just I was all for it. Hicks was returning. It was going to erase the events of Aliens 3, continue from Aliens. Hicks had scars on his face, showed Ripley. They were going to, I really wanted to see where he was going to go with his vision. And it just feels like a lot of stuff that we were supposed to get with Aliens versus Predator, just and Aliens, they dropped the full ball with. But anyway, let's run this first raffle right now. Let's see who's going to win. So I'm gonna run this raffle twice. So this is the first round. First round prizes. Again, I'm gonna run to see who wins this first prize. So all right. So Relis has won the first raffle. Tell her what she won. Let's see. All right, let me just remove that screen. I can't see myself. It's hard to manage this when you're by yourself, but you know what? That's fine. I remember you talking with another host on another show about your background in IT and communication. Yeah, so it's really weird, Daniel. My background in IT, some would consider it very amateurish. I mean, right now, last was it last year that we did it? Last few years, I've worked with Inbion. I got to do a lot of great stuff on computers and everything with Eric Hutch. I've worked in the cable industry for over 11 years, so I've done some IT support there, UX. It's just like when people go, "Where's your experience?" They'll ask you about your experience, they'll dismiss it, and then all of a sudden, I gotta throw in like, you know what, need the certification. So that's where part of my time is taken up is getting certified and these certifications to show it off. Worked in the customer service section, sales section, and everything for over like more than what I can say because I've worked in customer service since like the age of 16 in various different industries. And yeah, and I have like we have like this imposter syndrome, which I learned I had a few years ago, and I was like, I can run stuff. I've ran two virtual conventions, I've ran virtual meet and greets, I've helped people troubleshoot stuff. So with IT, it's a continuing growing field, but with what people need is certifications. And I'm like, why I got get stuck on a certification? Why I need to be certified? But hopefully we'll see, world's changing. So yes, Aurelius, you won that first one. Let's see what you win. Let's see what you get. So we have a bunch of fun stuff here. Again, we have a free random bag of stuff. We have a free commission, spin again, guest appearance in Concrete Combat, and then that elusive $60 gift card. Let's just shuffle this up. And I promise I'm going to start drawing in a second. I just like talking to you guys. Woo! So free random bag of stuff that you're gonna receive. So this is pretty cool. I'm gonna be sending you some stuff. So when you do get the chance, go into I'm removing the wrong screen. You think I know how to do this? When you get the chance, let's go into Patreon. Send me your address. I will be sending you something in the mail. Later towards the end of this week. Might be on Monday because that's usually the days I get off, which I can make it to the post office. Again, thank you. No, no, thank you. Anytime, because again, your support, your continued support, does fuel a lot when it comes down to helping with supporting this project. Don't think that I don't notice that. And again, you're always in everybody's streams, showing your support and everything. The love is there for you and all that. Again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support that you pour out there. So I'm going to be putting together a great random bag of great stuff for you to enjoy. Some of it may be from original art to some pieces. Probably pull out some comics from my personal collection that you'll get to enjoy and everything. So again, I just want to thank you from deep down the bottom of my heart. No, 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 no. I for the days melt by. If I can make it to the post office early, I will send it. But usually Mondays is the times I can really make it. But yeah, if I could get to the post office as early as possible, so that's one of the things I'm gonna be doing this week is putting that bag together for you. Just send me the address. I'll ship it out, and I'll let you know in the Patreon messaging board that it's been shipped out. Start playing the prices right thing. Dun, dun, dun. So right now, so that's the first raffle, and right now I am going to be doing the Juggernaut today. So as promised, we are going to get the Juggernaut. Forgive me sometimes too, because when I get hyper focused, and I'm not going to look to um ignore the chat. So I am still here. I am just sometimes I might not be looking up at the chat sometimes. So I'm going to stop that screen, and now we're going to share this screen. And again, just shoot some questions at me too. Um, I'm always here. I love talking geeky. Nerdy is what I do. And let's see here. All right, can you guys still hear me? Please say yes. I'm here. So we got a blank canvas. And let's see. So Monday is a holiday. I love Mondays. Loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you, Daniel. All right. So I'm just writing down because I like to keep track of this. Free bag of stuff. I already know some stuff I'm gonna put in that bag. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. So probably gonna do Juggernaut's bust only because. Are you kidding me? Oh, great. I gotta move my screens. This is the problem with multiple screens. I have three screens, and sometimes when Clip Studio closes out wrong on one screen, it moves all of my brushes over to another screen. So I'm just moving my brushes right now. And we're going to start. So you guys will get to see some of my workflow. I'm a little bit of a mess of an artist sometimes. So I have a very, I don't want to say fun workflow. I just have a workflow. All right, I want to get the pencil brush first. Let me close out my animation timeline because I was about to work on some animations. So I really want to turn Concrete Combat into an animation someday. I'm in the thoughts of creating, hiring someone to do some stuff. If I could like get the funds, definitely want to work with some people with it. So I've already written out the first script to like try to just at least make a pilot episode. Hopefully. Last time that was annoying. So no, I want to definitely make Concrete Combat into an animation, and the reason for that is that again, I thank Eric Hutch for installing that idea into me because at the end of the day, I think it will work great as an animation. I've always wanted to get into animation. I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes I am my worst own critic when it comes down to being an artist, but I've come to the point where it's like I just need to tell a story and put that story out there for people. If one person likes it, then I feel like I've done my job. as a creator with telling a story. Um, if people tell you like, yeah, I got into comics for money, no, there is no money in comics at all. It's a very, very broke journey. You really get into it for the love of it. I mean, I learned from a long time ago from Alex and Mark from Wayward Raven. It was great. It was a panel with them. They're like, yeah, if you're gonna get into this for money, you're gonna burn out real quick. You have to get into this for the love. And the great thing is, I always loved with working on comics and all that, like drawing characters and everything. But over the years, I got into animation. I mean, I have a degree in computer animation, and I've wanted to do an animation in Concrete Combat. I sat down with the script, and I gotta thank Eric Hutch for helping out with putting that script together because he helped with some edits. He read some, and that script, that first script is just it's something I really want to get out there. I'm excited because like the first comic for Concrete Combat Chapter One is really based off of that first script. All right, so I'm just sketching out here. So I do like a mess of a sketch because I just want to lay out how I want the character. So I really want to work on the bust because Juggernaut's a big dude. And I might do his eyes look a little beady. So what are you guys' thoughts of Fast and the Furious now going to be getting its next trilogy after Fast X? I mean, I thought it was going to end after Fast X. Please, please, I need to know what the internet 2D or 3D or a mix of both. Um, in regards to 2D and 3D with the animation, I do want to do a mix of both. I would love to create 3D environments around, but I want to get that 2D feel like you used to get with old school animations. Um, like the idea for it is just, I just really want to get that old 90s feeling if I can, with a little bit of the new school, but I don't want like how you see in some of those animations where the 3D just really looks choppy and off. So I don't want it to look like off when it comes down to doing the animation. Okay, so Juggernaut. I bet it was ridiculous. So the Fast and the Furious movies just defy logic, and they're just nothing but big balls of ridiculousness. They just they keep on, and it's like, what else can we do to make the movie even more ridiculous? Let's do this. Let's shoot a car in space. And I remember that being the joke that like once the franchise goes into space, it's gonna die. No, they're still making movies. Going to Don Bluthrow, I say, yeah, pretty much, pretty much. And I say wrong, no wrong with the gold Lamborghini. I got the Thanos vibe from. uh, oh, speaking of Marvel, Aurelis, they posted something. They said the visual effects team said that if you've seen Guardians, have you guys seen Guardians? I don't want to spoil it. I haven't seen any of the movies. Don't worry. You and my wife Daniel, Um, she's actually lost track where she was at with the movies. Has everybody seen Guardians yet? I just want to make sure before I go into that. I saw it. Awesome. No, yeah, it was. So I was reading an article that said that the visual effects team confirmed, and this is something I had said on Nerds, that what's his face was not on that ship. It looks like that Drax carried his body off. They confirmed the visual effects team that that's who he was carrying in that final scene when the ship was blowing up. So the High Evolutionary is still in play in the MCU, which means that he can possibly return. Oh, Daniel, you're gonna. So if you watched that Guardians 1 and 2, and if you loved Guardians 1 and 2, You're definitely gonna love Guardians 3. Guardians 3 is such a I'll warn you, there are some triggering moments in it because again, it's just they really create James Gunn really created and kudos to the actor, they really created a villain in the MCU that you really want to hate. What's up, Hugo? Yeah, you saw the post about that. Yeah, no. So they confirm. It's like so the visual effects can confirm that that's who the body was, and it was his body that was carried out. And I was like, yeah, do you did. So if you never see the body, and the way how they did, I was like, they're leaving it open where he can return. I feel, and I mean, in good timing too, because we don't know if what's gonna happen with Kang right now in the MCU, if they're gonna recast him or something like that. Because I mean, I know a lot of stuff is dealing with Jonathan Majors, but that's a whole nother story in itself. But we're gonna see. Yeah, whoever Rick Grimes is, they still have not announced. I mean, with the slate of movies coming up. I mean, right now, Adam Driver. They spoke about him taking the role of Reed Richards, but until they fully announce it, I mean, and I wouldn't be against the actor who plays Rick Grimes to play possibly one of the British heroes, and possibly go out there and maybe a villain. But I do want to see like if they do start doing the X-Men, I do want to see a younger cast of actors actually play the X-Men. I don't want to get any I don't want to see too many established people, but at the same time it's like, it's kind of like a fan casting right now. All right. So, I kind of gave myself a base for Juggernaut. Now I'm going to go in with this pen and let me scroll in. Omega Red. Yeah. There were rumors at one point that Omega Red was supposed to be in Black Widow, but those were rumors at one point. And that would have been cool, but and it would have tied back to their connection as Russian agents, and that would have been cool too because like Marvel has this whole Russian superhuman community that Omega Red belongs to along with Colossus, Black Widow. We got to see Red Guardian. Um Rumors were that one of the characters, the one that was a mutant who was a bear, he was in the Black Widow movie, which again showcased mutants in the MCU. So a lot of people tie back to WandaVision, but there's also mentions of a mutant in Black Widow. If they're gonna touch up on that again, I have no clue. But I think they're just leaving nuggets. But Omega Red, yes, I could say that this is who everyone is waiting for. They want to see him. They want to see how he's going to be portrayed on screen. Thank God it's not by Fox, because again, I feel like Fox shit the bed so bad with a lot of the X-Men movies. They were great for what they were for, but at the same time, we didn't get the characters that we wanted and loved, the way that they were supposed to be portrayed, outside of a great Quicksilver scene. I'm going to be wanting one more raffle tonight. Morales won the first raffle. Free bag of stuff. Hugo can tell you about that bag. It was awesome sending that bag out to Hugo, putting together some great things. What I included in that bag for Hugo was actually a piece that got featured in on the red wall at Resort World Casino in Brooklyn, or actually Queens. It was featured back in before the pandemic, even 2019. So Resort World sometimes houses a convention called WinterCon, and what they wanted to do was that side by side with RenterCon, they wanted to also have an art exhibit that had to deal with pop culture. I got to contribute four pieces with four other amazing artists. One of those pieces was a Jessica Rabbit piece, another piece was a Batman piece, and it was pretty dope to be featured there. And what was cool, I got to go with my wife to see it, and then someone was admiring all the pieces They saw my artwork there. It felt kind of cool because they actually recognized me as the artist. I was trying to be there low key, because I had my beard. I had a clean shaven picture there, and he recognized me. He's like, "Oh, you're the artist." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can we take a picture? This is so dope, dude." And so, it was a moment. It felt pretty cool. Like I felt like it kind of brightened this guy's day, and he was just super happy and so super cool. So speaking of Red, is Red Skull dead from the first Captain America? Seems like it was quite ambiguous, or at least not official dead. I mean, he's not dead, Hugo. We saw what his fate was at the end. Because what happened to him is that he pretty much is the guardian of the Soul Stone right now, stuck on that planet. Where everybody got the Soul Stone, so he's like pretty much a shadow of himself. He probably got there, and when he got there, it just time just ate away. So he just became the spectral entity, where it just he was just a shadow of himself. That was it. He's no longer, I would say, human anymore. He's just, and what sucked was that Hugo Weaving didn't return back to reprise the character. Someone else did the character, but yeah, well, I can't wait to put. So I got some cool stuff that's going in that bag for you. Um, Again, it was fun putting together Hugo's bag because there was a lot of fun pieces that I got to see and everything that I got to work on. I see, still working on your way through the MCU up to Guardians too. All right, that's cool. I didn't know Hugo. Nah, my bad. You're gonna learn. So here's the thing about the MCU. I'll let you and Daniel know. And Arelis already probably knows this. Is that there's always a lot of great little stuff there, a lot of great Easter eggs and all that too. That they do. They don't leave a lot of loose ends, especially when it comes to some of these characters, which is really, really, really dope. um there are a lot of characters like even like some side characters that you may see again in a later film and all that, or show. So when they do stuff, I feel like it's like they're extending a lot of the storytelling for down the line. That's why I feel like with my so yeah. But it's like, so as many people are saying superhero fatigue and like, oh, Marvel, this, I feel like there have been better storytellers on the Marvel side versus the DC side, because I don't feel that the DCU lacks someone in the middle to connect the stuff. They need their own Pepper Silver, and I feel like they're gonna get that with James Gunn and Peter Safran since they're taking over as the CEOs, because you need someone that that understands the characters. I don't feel, and nothing against Zack Snyder, I don't feel he was the right guy for the job, because I don't feel like he understood those characters and the type of storytelling that needed to be done for those characters. I always feel like he wanted to do a Batman movie, and his excuse to do a Batman movie was to just make everything DC dark, and that's what he did. It worked for some people. For me, there were some concepts I thought were cool, but at the end of the day, I didn't really enjoy the DCEU what it was delivering. I really enjoyed what they did at CW, but when it comes down to Marvel, I really feel like Kevin Feige was that guy. God damn it. He's that guy who really paid attention to a lot of the characters, a lot of the stuff, and Disney recognized that, and then ended up forming the Disney studio, the MCU studio, separate from the TV division at the time, to let Feige do all the work that he needed to do to create the MCU. There was a time where the shows like Agents of Shield were kind of tied into the MCU, but then they were removed because it was still in charge by the TV division, which was in charge by what's he called? Mike Palmardi, who recently got let go out of the Marvel division, because he was still in charge of the comic book division. So he was in charge of damn it, he was in charge of the TV shows, and they took the movies away from him because there was just a lot of complaints, a lot of stuff, and he was very tight on budget. And I believe if he was still in charge of the budget, and no, Disney, this is probably what they thought. If he was still in charge of the budget, we wouldn't have gotten the MCU that we know now, and Kevin Feige would have been, there would have been a lot of too much involvement, not allowing Kevin to get that vision out there. So, long story short, after his success, Kevin Feige's success with the movies, he jumped right in and they gave him the control of the TV series too. So that's why a lot of the stuff pre um phase 4 doesn't fit in with the MCU. My opinion, science fiction compared to science fiction, fantasy, Daniel. I think there's a place for both. I love both genres because again, I'm a big geek when it comes down to it. Concrete Combat takes a little bit science fiction and science fantasy and mixes it. Like I love a lot of different sci-fi, different concepts because sci-fi has such a broad category. So it's like you have your Doctor Who's, you have your aliens, you have your predators. Um, I'm a big dark sci-fi fan because again I love Predator, I love Aliens, I love The Thing. I really shoot for more of the sci-fi horror a lot of the time. 'Cause I guess I'm crazy like that. But I also love when you start to blur with science fiction and science fantasy together where you can where you start to mash up some worlds. And that's one of the things I was trying to do with Concrete when it came down to like different races of characters because I do like that. Like in Dungeon and Dragons, you had the different races and everything. So I was like, I wanted to introduce different races, and so I had fun with that. But I love both categories. I don't favor one over the other. Um, what I can tell you is that I've seen some bad sci-fi movies where I'm just like, oh my god, I can't. This is just so bad. Those were a lot of the popcorn flicks when I used to go to the DVD aisle back in Blockbuster. And yes, I'm dating myself. Let's see, Hugo. Do you distinguish dark sci-fi and post-apocalyptic or dystopian? It really depends on the mood that I'm in. Like sometimes I feel like watching a dystopian flick. Like I feel like jumping into a post-apocalyptic future with Mad Max. There was one I can't I think it was called it's not Revolver. Revolver was a different one. There was one that was a B movie where it was this guy, he found this hunk of junk, brought it back to his girlfriend. She was an artist. She was making it into a piece, and little did he know it was like an old war robot from this in their dystopian future. Um, and it just started just going on a murder spree. Like it was a cool B flick. Um, do I distinguish dark sci-fi and post-apocalyptic? I think I distinguish a little bit. Hmm. I would have to say, like I said, it really depends on my mood. When I did my comic, um, Dead Planet, it was more dark sci-fi, and it was very inspired by Aliens and The Thing. I'm renaming that comic because I'm redoing it. It's just been an ongoing project. I'm actually gonna call it Pandora's Complex. And just worked on the story for that one. Now, Concrete Combat has a little bit science fiction, a little bit science fantasy, brings in that cyberpunk feel, but when you journey out into the world, it does have that post-apocalyptic dystopian feeling because of so the way how the cities are set up was a little bit inspired by how Judge Dredd did with the super cities and all that, the mega cities. So you do get that feeling there. Um, I created a whole mass religion because I did want to talk about the effects of religion, not targeting religion, but just how, and not targeting any type of religion, but just talking about how people use religion, no matter what form it takes, to be positive or to be negative. And the same thing with companies. I'm tackling different concepts with like how companies can be good or bad, and and also too I'm tackling the family unit in this quote family. Yeah, I can't put sci-fi in one bottle. I mean, it's so broad. It's such a big category. It's something that just I know there are people who want to bottle it and just be like it's this, it's that. Like, no, I think It's and this arm is annoying me right now. This piece of the armor. It's a sci-fi for me. It's just sci-fi is just one big fantasy world where you can escape that someone created for you to escape to. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could definitely be one of those people that love to, like, you want to categorize, because like sometimes you want to compartmentalize some things and everything, like, yeah, this is where this fits in and all that, which again, I'm all for it. Like, enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it. No one, tell you otherwise. Like, I enjoy it the way, like, I love to enjoy my stuff, which is why I think I still have a lot of love for a lot of stuff. Because when I start seeing people hate on some of their stuff and all, I'm like, listen, you used to enjoy this. What's going on? Why do you? It's like, just compartmentalize it, like what you enjoy, what you don't. The Expanse has opened up a whole lot to me. I hear a lot of the Expanse. It's actually been recommended to me, so I've been wanting to see it. So it's on my list of things to see. All right, I'm just gonna do this here. So I'm looking at one of the Juggernaut references from, I believe this is from Claremont's run. It was a time that the Juggernaut was in the X-Men. Link didn't work. Which link didn't work? Yeah, just let me know which link didn't work, Daniel, because I put quite a few links up there. Was it the Aliens and Predator anime? Because if so, I mean, it's on GeekTyrant.com. It's been one of my favorite sites to go to. All right, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it might for some reason have restrictions on posting links up, only because it's like you get people sometimes that will come on and spam. I think they recently, because Law's usually in charge of the chat over there, Nerds, since it's the same StreamYard. And what happened was that someone kept spamming over there, and he finally got blocked. Um, so all right, so I think I'm making some headway with how I want the character to look. So I'm just doing the bust of the Juggernaut right now. He's a big dude. Okay, so that's that layer. So I'm gonna create another layer. So all right, I missed something here, and that's where I messed up at. Okay, thank you. Mike Ross is a fraud. Yeah, it got to the point where it's like, do we still want to? All right, I got it. Perfect. Oh, that's dope. Sci-fi space battles. Here, hell laser go pew pew pew. Ha. That's dope. Yeah, it got to the point where this guy, he just kept spamming and spamming and spamming, and it's like, dude, like, you gotta stop. You really really gotta stop. And it's like it was blowing up the chat, and when people don't listen, and then a lot of it too was that after a while, there was just a lot. I would say yes. I would say yes. That image is accurate. It is very, very accurate. It's funny. It's funny. So I would say this: Star Trek fits into hard sci-fi space battles, where soft sci-fi space battles would be Star Wars, and I would die on that horse. I would definitely, because it's just funny because it's like you get a different feeling from Star Trek when it comes down to their space battles. It's like you get the whole science and math from it, and then all of a sudden it's like Star Wars. I got metachlorians, and you're going to die. All right, I want to do some stuff here, some fun stuff. So I want to kind of like thicken some of these lines. So I just created a second layer over my vectored layer, and I just wanted to do some fun stuff. I like to do these big, thick black outlines around the outside of a character. I don't know, this has become something of a big thing. God, I miss Spaceballs. Oh man, I, I, I would be down for second Spaceball movies to make fun of the current landscape of Star Wars. I could see that being soft. I think it really, for me, it really depends on your version of Star Trek of which one, because there are versions of Star Trek that definitely do fit the soft sci-fi genre. I feel for me, but then the old hard genre, I mean, I feel like there's parts of it that do fit into that hard genre. So it really depends, like, on which one we're looking at. Yes, Lone Star. Yes. Okay, what do I want to do? I wanna mess with these eyes right here. These eyes. Yeah, I learned that I didn't need to know I need this piece of knowledge, but I also learned that Marlon Wayans made a spoof on for what's it called? 50 Shades of Grey. That's piece of information that I know nobody wants, but there is a spoof that exists that makes fun of 50 Shades of Grey. So I'm sorry, you heard it here. It exists. Now it occupies your brain. All right. So I just want to do some fun stuff. I'm just doing some random little things here and there for this. So I'm not on a vectored layer anymore. So now I'm more on a roster. Yes, yes. Let me know how it is. I might join you on that. I might join you watching that. Never watch Scream movies, but watch Scary Movie series because of the Wayne. The Wayne's brothers were always awesome. All right, it is 9:07. I'm gonna be doing this for another few minutes, so I got the Juggernaut down. Um, do I have to clean up some stuff? Yes, I do. So it looks like he has a mole right here on this page. Okay, do that. I liked the first scary movie. Then I saw the one when they started getting Tom Cruise in it. And I was like, it's getting crazier now. We got Tiger Blood. So they had him with Lindsay Lohan. I couldn't. I just couldn't. After they disappeared from the series, but they were fun. They were fun. I saw a superhero movie too, and then they had not another teen movie. They were really going in with that series. Okay, so hey JD Cat, art requests. I was taking requests from my Patreon. I had put out a vote. So this was a random drawing. So some of my Patreon members had requested for see a live stream again. So just decided to do it. I had asked, I put out there the surveys and all that. And I thanked everybody for participating who said, "Yeah, cool. It would be cool to see another one." But I am all up for it down the line. I usually will take a request. I may put that out on my Patreon for when I do. So if you're like a subscriber to, I usually open that up for my subscribers. Pretty much when it comes down to it. If you are new and watching this, I want to thank you again, just for because I thank everybody for their support, because it's you know hard being an artist out there. But yeah, I usually would go out there and like, hey, yeah, I have a character here. If you have a suggestion, we'll put it up. Right now, I do a lot of work on my comic Concrete Combat, which Chapter 2, Part 2 is fully out right now on my Patreon. Link is in the description. But yeah, Juggernaut was a character that won a character poll. Thanks for joining, Danielle. Again, thank you again, and again, keep doing that. See you on the Discord as well. And again, keep killing it, brother. Thank you for joining. I'm about to finish this up in a minute. Let's see here. So what I'm doing is just again Juggernaut's base, bus and all that. So this way, get it out there. So I may play around with this more. But as you can see, when you join an enemy, do another live stream just to finish him up. But let's see here. Or just may go on there and finish him up and continue. Okay. So stop right there. And let us come back here. And I am back. So I'm going to run the second raffle now. This would be how I will close out the stream for tonight. A second raffle is done. So for those who don't know, if you are a subscriber to my Patreon, you do get a raffle ticket. The Patreon, again, when I'm usually doing a live stream for these drawing sessions, I'm just going to be doing free raffles for all those who subscribe to my Patreon page. So just to let you guys know, so Patreon is how I put out some exclusive art. Answering your question again, GD Cat. That's how with my subscribers, I'll put out something out there and ask them like what we're gonna vote on and everything. Whenever I'm going to do a live drawing session. So this way, it's like that whole thing about art requests. I do discounted commissions. So I'm going to be opening up a commission list soon. For those who are looking to commission work. As time does get freed up in my schedule. Now, again, time right now is crazy for me because I do a lot. Like tomorrow night, I will be again. I For those who don't know, I am one fourth on the Nerds podcast. I'm one fourth of the host. Tomorrow we go on at 9 p.m. every Tuesday. We're always talking geek stuff. So just like we were doing here, talking all fun geek stuff. But yeah, we do a lot of fun things. And let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, I got the like. Hugo, woohoo! Thanks again for the support, brother. So I'm gonna be running the final raffle now. So all raffle entries are closed out. So the final raffle. All right, let's draw it up here. I always have fun. I love it when you guys are going off in the comments too. You guys always feeding us some love out there, Hugo. It's freaking phenomenal. I love it. I'm always having fun watching you guys just throw rapid fire. We're gonna be talking about Unicorn. What is it tomorrow? It's actually a show that's out on HBO Cartoon Network. Let me bring it up so you can know what we're covering tomorrow on Nerds. Um, it's from the creator who did Samurai Jack, and he just released a new animation, which and Val found the show, so it's called Unicorn Eternal Warriors Eternal. It's on HBO app, and so we're gonna be covering the first three episodes of that. Who's coming on Nerds tomorrow is Fugitive Poems. They're gonna be talking about let us know about their latest Kickstarter too. So we got a blast. So Aurelis won the first raffle earlier tonight. She's getting free random bag of stuff, which is pretty awesome. Hugo won last time in the last raffle. A free bag of stuff, got some cool goodies in there. So there was a lot of cool stuff. And so let's just go here. I'm going to shuffle the names again. And we are going to roll for the second raffle. Johnny C just won that raffle. So I want to thank Johnny. So let's just see what Johnny wins. For those who don't know Johnny C, he's also another creator. He does a great book called Surrounded by Death and Sartana. Let's see here. And let's shuffle up these prizes again. Again, that elusive $60 gift card is still there, but as a second free commission, Johnny has racked up on because he won one already. And he's now got a second one. He still has not called on those favors, which I know what he's gonna do. So Johnny won a free commission, and I don't mind doing it. He might raffle it off for one of his subscribers. So I let Johnny C know. So that'll be the end for this stream. I was gonna keep it for about going on for pretty much an hour. We went over a little bit of an hour. You guys got to see a little bit of my drawing process. If you guys want to see me do continue, and again, there I go. I removed the wrong screen as always. You could let Pong know that. If you guys want to see me continue to do live streams, I'm thinking about launching a new podcast down the line. Still in the works, and I'm thinking about doing a little bit more live drawing streams, just adding more. Definitely for Patreon, maybe even like behind the scenes as well, playing around with some new features. So even Patreon subscribers will may get some exclusive streams. And I am also debating on maybe like personal Zoom call, like just group Zoom calls and everything, just to see what the process and all that. So there are a lot of things that I'm looking to launch with Patreon this year. But yeah, if you guys want to see more of these live streams, just let me know. You can even just comment as a follower on the Patreon page. If you follow, if you like this, share. If you want to see me, like I said, do more art streams. Like I would even mind coming on and doing some of the concrete combat work. That definitely was something definitely want to do. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys again for coming out tonight, supporting, showing lots of love. Catch me tomorrow night at Nerds at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Nerds Around channel. Got more stuff brewing up, so keep out for that. And there's a lot of artwork in the pipeline. Those who are Patreon subscribers, you're going to be seeing some more artwork coming out that's almost done and finished, which is some fun pieces, but also to a lot of the concept stuff. So you guys get to see the visual. So if you're a subscriber to the Patreon, you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So for example, a lot of the concept work I'm doing through AI with putting the visual of the world together, it's open out. So those are going to be posted there for people to see. So, but again, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I want to wish you guys a beautiful night and stay nerdy.